The Doghouse Cup Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is today's all-American kitchen. Open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Shoney's guests can count on quality, delicious food along with warm, friendly service. Stop by one of our West Virginia locations to try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar, and don't forget to take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's. Delicious food and friendly service since 1947. And Rogue Energy. It's designed to be the ultimate energy drink. 0 sugar, 0 fillers, 5 calories, packed with essential vitamins, and loaded with brain-enhancing nootropics at optimal levels. Make the switch to a better tasting, better mixing, and a more effective energy drink. With flavors like pink lemonade, fruit punch, and grape pops, you'll just name a few. There's something out there for everyone. Click the link in the description, guys, and use the word Doghouse for 10% off. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Simtrax Broadcast. Appreciate you guys joining us here tonight at the Doghouse Racing League. We, of course, are at Phoenix. As you can see right now, we got a couple of drivers trying to figure out how to cut that dog leg. John Smith in the 99 Chevrolet was giving it a go, but right now looks like fourth will be his best qualifying position here on the night. We might see if he gets a little bit better. And Richard Clerk, he is out there sitting in the 17 Chevrolet. Waiting to see if a couple more drivers decide to make some qualifying times. Mike Leftwich, Chris Leftwich. We saw Mike a little earlier. It did clip the wall there just a little bit. Ricky Hudges, Jeffrey Wimmer, and Steven Bonomo. Well, these guys are still waiting to get out there and put down some solid time. Would like to give a shout out to sponsors here of the league, Rogue Energy. Guys, remember you can check down in the link, the bio down in the bottom, and you can go ahead and line yourself up with some of that awesome stuff. Use the word Doghouse and it'll knock even 10% off, so that way your first tasting doesn't actually break your back here with the prices, but their prices are comparable. And don't forget Shoney's. Shoney's, of course, being the main sponsor here of the league. Appreciate them signing on for yet another season. Speaking of signing on, I just checked back at our numbers here at Simtrax Broadcast, and I want to thank each and every one of our subscribers out there as we've now hit our 200th video and 400 subscribers. We have just broken over the 1-year mark or somewhere around, I believe, that August area, and it has been a absolute blast to bring you guys the best in iRacing, especially with the Doghouse Racing League, the Racing Revolution League, and many other leagues that I've done on to the side and signed up before. Definitely Coast to Coast, Graceland Shootout Series, and the Big Show. But we are here with the Doghouse Racing League. You guys know all about these guys. Next-gen Cup cars, open setups, and what a blast it's going to be to find out who has set their car up just right. This track is going to be very difficult. You want them nice and low to the ground, but you want them high enough that these cars aren't going to bottom out, because they're saying not cutting through the dog leg is you don't gain any time, but we all know better than that. I've seen guys been able to pass somebody on the high side and either pick up one, if not two positions. So that's going to be really, really a huge mark for us here at Phoenix. So qualifying is just now finishing up, and we'll talk to you a little bit about what we've got going on here tonight at the Phoenix Raceway. 135 laps, and we're going to have 3 sets of tires down in the pit. So fortunately, if you guys tuned in last night to the Racing Revolution, let me tell you right now, the 3 sets of tires there, I guarantee you, to stay fast, these guys are going to probably use just about every single one of them. But that 70% fuel limit will kind of toy around with them and make them think they can go longer than they should. Right about, that 30-lap mark, you're going to see the time start dropping off by almost 0.8 of a second, and these guys are going to have to weigh their options whether to stay out or continue. No fast repairs, of course, but we do have 2 starting parks tonight. Tyler Mollett and Eric Warman. Those guys are not going to be able to make the race here tonight, so they are checking out and trying to at least get a little bit going on, trying to hold on to the points. Right now, temperature out there on the track is 73. If you guys noticed last night, we were at 109, so maybe 73 might give these guys just a little bit extra and possibly another angle that they can take. But let's go ahead and get to our starting grid here for the night. Jonathan Jennings and Andrew St. Cour will be starting in the front row. Kevin Thompson and John Smith will be 3 and 4. We saw John Smith get a little loose. He's going to try to straighten that thing up coming into the feature here tonight. Hunter Simpson being extremely consistent. I don't believe I've seen him place outside the top 5 yet this season. And Justin McMahon, I think he's going to be our silent sleeper tonight. Definitely waiting to see if that 24 can come away with a win. Mark Dumont and Christopher Simon sitting 7th and 8th. And starting row number 5 will be Nicholas Atwood. He'll be starting next to Gary Clune, so it looks like these guys are kind of clumping together here for the Twisted Axle Racing team in that 5th row. Tony Martin will be starting 11th next to Bill Gentry. Gentry in the 4. We saw he had a little bit of a tangle up last race. He's going to be trying to see if he can bounce back from that dismal finish and have a better one in this one. Nate Orlowski will be starting 13th next to Daniel Wilkerson. Wilkerson actually having an extremely low qualifying time. He's going to have to battle back as he starts 14th. Richard Leclerc and Gary Armijo will be 15th and 16th. That moves us to row number 9, where Ricky Hudges sits in the, looks like in the 28 machine, sitting 17th. Jeffrey Weimer there will be 18th. Stephen Bonomo, yes, he did take behind the wheel. Bonomo will be 19th. Mike Leftwich, he's getting out there as well in the number 60. And we're looking to see, I don't think Chris Leftwich was able to get behind the wheel here. So I think Chris Leftwich in the number 21 will not be here. So he'll be, unfortunately, that name you see scrolling on our tower here to the side as an out already. Definitely that's going to be painful to see, as it's going to continue scrolling on through as that one driver not able to stay connected. But let's go ahead and get this one underway as we are under green, and we are seeing Jonathan Jennings and Andrew St. Cour take off here. See where I'm talking about the dog leg as they drop down off the table here to get the MATCO Tools 135 kicked off. Andrew St. Cour slicing down to the bottom, staying out front of last week's winner, Kevin Thompson. Jennings, who came second, looking not to get another number 2 spot. St. Cour, oh no! Look out, this is going to be contact right there. Boom! Shot there with Justin McMahon. We had our eyes on St. Cour the whole time as he lost control coming out of the turn 2. Holy cow. Definitely a bad turn here by St. Cour, bringing out our first caution. Definitely unusual to see St. Cour doing this, as you see him trying to collect it up, and right now you saw McMahon had nowhere to go. Give it to everybody else for being able to get out of the way, but I don't know if St. Cour is going to be destroyed here for the night. He's going to have to see if he can work his way back in. Let's see if we can take another look at this. Yeah, you see him locking up the tires, trying to straighten it up here. Still think it's a garbage angle here. Let me see if we can take another look at it. Yeah, not good here. See if we can take another shot. Here we go. Now we're chasing St. Court. Right there. Hunter Simpson sees it. Man. Jonathan Smith, and it looks like Dumont also gets hammered as well as the wreck continues. Oh, boy. Dumont actually ended up backwards as well. Let's try to see what happened to Mark Dumont. So this one kind of continued on through. That didn't work out well for him. Here's the spin out. You see the 99 duck toward the bottom. Gets caught there by McMahon, but Smith rolls up into him here and not once but twice catches him. And the 14 loops around here. So the field will be highly shuffled up. Right now you see a couple of guys checking up, just saying, you know what, let's go ahead and try to square this one away and fix it back up. Andrew St. Court down pit road, squaring his car. Right now 34 seconds in the box. Justin McMahon spent 34 seconds in the box as well. Back out onto the track they go. Not double file yet, so drivers will have just a moment to get themselves collected and back together. Only 135 laps here tonight. B-Mac out there in the chat. Definitely, I know you're rooting on Andrew St. Court, but that is not the way he wanted to get this race started. I assure you of that. We saw him kind of pull out. It looked like he tried to pedal through it, but was just unable to recover. So he'll be starting from the back here, 20th position. Pace car is off, but as the track is so spread apart, you'll see how it's spread away from pit lane as these guys get ready to rock and roll here. All right, Kevin Thompson looking at Jonathan Jennings here. Jennings is going to have an excellent start and definitely in a hard place to start here at Phoenix. Phoenix is tries to have these guys restart in the turns, and it looks like Hunter Simpson into the wall. Bill Gentry looks like he finishes him off here. Clune's kind of caught in the middle. Unusual. More cautions in this race than we almost had all year. Drivers affected: Kevin Thompson, Hunter Simpson, Bill Gentry, Jeffrey Weimer, and Gary Clune. Let's see if we can take a look at Hunter Simpson here, and as I think he may have gotten hooked. Yeah, I think Simpson rotated up top. He didn't realize how much speed he had. Interesting angle here. What I do want to take a look at is the wreck that continues on after the spin. Here's the contact. Right here on the bottom. Looks like something continues on. Christopher Simon looks like he might just get there. 19 machine makes contact there. There's the number 2. So Tony Martin looks like he gets driven here by Daniel Wilkerson. See if we can find out if Wilkerson suffered any damage from this. All right, car spinning out now. 2 cuts down, yeah. And Wilkerson's trying to drive through. Definitely spotters having a hard time here tonight. As drivers are down pit road, looks like Hunter Simpson's going to be one of the ones that's broken the most. I may have jinxed him out there saying we've yet to see him place below a top 5 here. That's going to do it for him. As that race car is just about totaled out. Bill Gentry in the number 4. I don't know if he's going to be able to continue like that. Yeah, see, the car's not even turning. So Bill Gentry, I'm sure, will be rejoining pit road. And Gary Clune, He had to come down to pit as well. On the way down, a little bit of damage here from Ricky Hudges. See how this is going to go. Kevin Thompson deciding to... Yeah, he might be coming down pit here. Right now, he's got to get the front end of this car squared away. Let me see if we can get a chopper view out there, as there are sparks coming off the front nose of his car. The drivers coming down pit road: Nicholas Atwood, Stephen Bonomo, Justin McMahon, Andrew St. Cour working his way down. No, not what you want to see out of the Twisted Axle Racing team. They're kind of getting blown to bits out here. But at least with less than 10 laps really of this race, guys getting smoked out. I think that kind of where that dog leg is. Everybody's not really. Guys are coming off of it a little bit different, rotating up the track. Somebody got pinched into the wall. You hate to see that. Our last week's winner getting knocked out. Looks like Jonathan Jennings will have Christopher Simon next to him. John Smith and Nate Orlowski. Right now, most of the guys who were in the back of the field have now rotated into the top 10. So they'll be able to get an upper hand here. Definitely if it is a points-gaining night, this is going to be perfect for them. And Jonathan Jennings may or may not be able to drive away with this if he's got any competition out there. The 91 Chevrolet, the only driver out here to not move a single position here tonight. So, pace car lights are off as we pass the Cactus. Hopefully it'll be green next time by. Hunter Simpson and Bill Gentry still the only ones down pit road. Everybody else was able to squeeze out. Nicholas Atwood gets caught up. Stephen Bonomo working his way up. Justin McMahon trying to hurry up after getting some of that damage repaired, as you see him chasing down Andrew St. Cour. Right now getting all clumped up. Nicholas Atwood, Kevin Thompson, Andrew St. Cour, and Gary Clune. All these guys are in the back of the pack. Clune is down a lap. One more caution like that, lucky dog, he will be around. Christopher Simon and Jonathan Jennings are going to try to drive away from this field, as Jennings is able to pull away here just a little bit. He's already got half a car length on Simon. Simon actually laying back a little bit. Check and see how that restart was out there. It did look like Jonathan Jennings left before the restart zone. Let's keep this going on. Simon hanging in there with him. Jonathan Smith sitting right now second for now. Might be a little battle here going on for second. Everybody dropping off by at least a second here so far. Tough restart here for some of these drivers out there. They're trying to figure out where this angle is going to be. We're seeing Kevin Thompson slicing on the inside as Mike Leftwich rotates to the top close to the wall. Number 2 of Tony Martin, we saw how he spun around, and he is having a front steering issue. You can see how he, right now, that number 2 machine of Tony Martin is trying to pull on through here, not working out too well as he came out of that turn, and he's already wiggling around. Contact with the wall. And we're seeing Atwood and Kevin Thompson going at it. Thompson rotating to the outside. This was his danger area last time. Thompson already gets clipped here. Coming out of the turn, looks like Gary Armijo might be the one that made a little bit of contact. Armijo still having some trouble here in the back, as he's unable to get that car to stick to the track right now. He's sliding all over the place. Right now, Jennings out to over half-second lead here, laying down fastest times of the night. He hasn't had many that haven't been under caution already. So 27.54 for Jonathan Jennings in the past couple laps. He had 27.57, now 27.54, not too bad. Let's see if we can rotate up front, where Richard Leclerc right now is running a pretty solid position, gaining 7 on the night. His 17 Chevrolet now sits 8th. Continuing on through, this is looking pretty good here so far with Richard Leclerc as he watches the driver in front of him, that being Jeffrey Weimer in the 73 Ford. Right now, the only person Jeffrey Weimer is able to see out of the windshield there is Daniel Wilkerson, as Dumont and Orlowski are pulling away. Already between 5th place and the leader, we're almost to a 3-second lead. Apparently somebody's been practicing, and that was Jonathan Jennings out there. There's still a question out there, where is Kevin Powell and will he return? We've yet to see Kevin Powell at all this season, so hopefully we'll be able to see him return back to the league and try to put some solid times down and give us a great show out here. But until then, we will have our eyes peeled for him. Jonathan Smith getting a solid run here tonight. He did qualify high in the top 5, originally starting in 4th. Jonathan Smith seems to have this thing calm, cool, and collected as he is out there racing almost by himself. And I can't say the dirty air is terrible here, as everybody is extremely, extremely spread out. So far, so good. Trying to do a quick check down of all of our drivers out there. There's somebody. Looks like Nicholas Atwood. We just moved to him as he got a little nudge there by our Canadian of Richard Leclerc. Sitting out there, 9th position. Still rolling on through. Nicholas Atwood has gained 1 here on the night. Atwood at least being one of the drivers from the Twisted Axle Racing team that has not been part or in any of the caution. So his car unscathed for the Twisted Axle Racing team. Can't say much for the Loud Pedal Racing team as well. A couple of them have been mashed up as well, trying to keep their car all in one piece. Andrew St. Cour trying to battle back after his early spin out on lap 1. He's moved up to 10th position. He would definitely like to be able to battle it on back. Tony Martin off the surface here. Definitely going down and cutting the dog leg, but there's a difference between cutting it and then entering pit road, so we'll see if he's black flagged for entering the pits. He came in before the blue cone, and I don't know if that may be a problem, how close he got. So we'll keep an eye on the number 2 here of Tony Martin, as he is now being passed by Mike Leftwich on the outside and Justin McMahon as well. Boy, this is looking pretty good here so far, 20 laps into this one. Our times on the course here are sitting at 27:54. If you guys paid attention a little bit last night, still close to that kind of time that we were seeing out with the Racing Revolution. And they ended up with about 4 to 8 tenths drop off after 30 some odd laps. Most of our laps this evening have been under caution, but we are getting ready to break that mark as we come across the line, I believe, next time by for more green flag laps than yellow flag laps. Let's check in on Gary Armijo. Gary Armijo in the number 7 Toyota. He's second out front. Right now, Clune is the highest out of all the lap down cars. Clune would be able to get next time by if another caution does arise. We're taking a look. A couple of these guys right now. Jennings is absolutely taking off with this one. Jennings looks like he may be putting the number 4 of Bill Gentry down a lap here. Gentry trying to hang out, not get in the way. Gentry is going to run his race, and he doesn't matter who's in front or who's behind here. Right along the front nose here of Bill Gentry. Looks like Jonathan Jennings has gone ahead around him and is taken off here. Yeah, much higher line than what we're seeing out of the rest of the field. And no need to fear if you're a Daniel Wilkerson fan. Have no fear. He is able to, he has fought himself back up to 5th. He did get in a little bit of a tussle up there on the lap 5 caution, but seems no worse for the wear. Mark Dumont has moved his Ford up to 6, not too bad. Right now, biggest mover of the race is Jeffrey Weimer, who's now in the 73 Ford, who's sitting 7th. As we pass the Cactus here for the 25th time. Now, this is a fantastic race here so far. Everybody kind of calming down and settling in a little bit. I do expect to see pit strategy come into play here tonight. As guys will kind of be pushing each other around and figuring out should they stay out longer. The only reason I bring up the Twisted Axle Racing team is all of them had pit back on lap 8. So that may be a sign that they'll be able to stay out a lot longer than everybody else. St. Coeur, Atwood, and Thompson sitting here 8, 9, and 10 as they battle along Mark Dumont for that 7th position, trying to see if they can squeeze it on through, but there's already trouble. Looks like Weimer got into the wall here. Weimer is definitely out of shape. So the VFW 73-4 down a bunch of positions now. It knocks him down to 9th. But in the name of the number 9, that's how many positions he's at least gained here tonight as the drivers go on around him. Kevin Thompson may be still fighting a lot of damage to the front nose of his machine and is unable to really recover here. Whoop. Yep, looked like we had a little bit of a drop out there. Let's see, this one's still going right now. Jennings still leading this race, almost a 2.5-second lead over top of Christopher Simon. Simon's still chasing. John Smith is sitting 3rd. Orlowski is 4th. Wilkerson 5th. Right now, when we were taking a ride along there with Bill Gentry, as Jonathan Jennings was passing him, Bill Gentry is now being passed by the gentleman in 5th, held by Daniel Wilkerson. Wilkerson's still flying on through here. Yeah, really appreciate what the Doghouse Racing League has been able to do for everybody out here, as Daniel Wilkerson is representing the Adam Looney Foundation. Definitely went back and sponsored the Kansas Speedway race. We were out there, and he is going ahead and keeping that on his car for the remainder here of the season, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. We're waiting to see if Daniel Wilkerson's able to gain any more out here. Kevin Thompson, Mike Leftwich, Richard Leclerc. Right now, that is our 10 through 12th. And everybody pretty spread out right about now. No one really in the chase on top of one another here. It's pretty spread out, but we'll take a look at our track map. The red dot up top is the halfway point of the race. If you look where the 11 and the 12 are rotating through, the red line is actually the start-finish line, where you would normally expect it is on the front stretch, but they're kind of saying it's between turn 1 and 2 here. Well, actually, excuse me, between 2 and 3 is kind of where it is placed, but that is definitely kind of, it tumbles up where guys used to start, but after the revamp here at Phoenix, and that's what we're seeing is definitely where the start-finish line is tumbling up a little bit. I think where I'm getting a little confused and a little tongue-tied here is I'm taking a look at Richard Leclerc as he's letting drivers go on by him. Justin McMahon and Gary Armijo just went right past him. Leclerc looks like he kind of checked out there for a moment and then decided to go ahead and let them on by. I don't know if something's going on here with the 17 machine. But Stephen Bonomo is already fighting that car through these turns. Let's see if we can take a ride along here with Stephen Bonomo. Still getting a good ride here out there on the track. Steve Bonomo seems to have this one under control. Waiting to see if there's any more trouble out here on the track, as it looks like Leclerc loses another position. Ricky Hudgens passes him. Now Tony Martin will be lining up for him. So this is the battle back here for that 16th position. Martin looking, nope. He's not going to have anything for him here as we shoot across the line. Less than 100 laps left to go in this race. Already a little contact there with the bottom of the track there for Tony Martin as he ducks on off, cutting the dog leg. The way this track is banked, it's very, very difficult. This one's a little flatter than the rest. And that's exactly what we're starting to see here. Riding along with Tony Martin, we're trying to run down Rich Leclerc, who's right now been on a roll backwards. I don't know if the tires are wearing out on him here and he's unable to keep it collected. Right now, Leclerc is running at about a second off pace. 28.06 is his best time. 28.90 is what he runs now. Putting that into any sort of perspective, fall off is happening. Jonathan Jennings running a 27.54 was his best time. Right now is running a 28.13. Still, we are making faster laps out there on the track. Some guys picking up a little bit of speed, some actually losing time. Jeffrey Weimer actually picking up some pace here as he hits a 29.25 out there on the track in the 73 machine. So he may have been sitting back a little bit, letting those tires kind of cool off, and then he's going to go out there and try to re-attack this track again. All right, we're seeing somebody slicing here on the inside as it looks like Hunter Simpson is able to return. Down pit road for the last almost 4 minutes, Bill Gentry in the number 4. Rejoining pit road now for the third time. Hunter Simpson, at least with the front clip missing, is trying to run some laps out there. 14 down though. No, definitely a good time to check in if we got guys under caution. There may be a possibility at some point during this race that these guys will have a opportunity to go on, get out of there. And if another person totals out, he may be able to pick up some positions. But right now, this is going to really hurt his consistency. Especially when you've been practicing, and then lap 5, you get wiped out. So this is not a good look here for Hunter Simpson. This is kind of really bad, and I would probably say because Hunter Simpson is running out of a little luck. Maybe because Stella is not joining me here in the booth tonight. Miss Stella is out on vacation. I hope she's having a fantastic time. I believe we had a conversation before, and she's actually given a slight tour of Europe out there. So she's hopefully she's having a blast out there, but we're going to have a blast here, sitting right here in the palm of your hand or in front of the couch. We are watching some of the best iRacing that we've seen out here to date as we are taking a look as Andrew St. Cour with the spin out early in the race. He moves up to 4th, but Orlowski is gaining 8, sitting in 5th. So far, so good. But St. Cour would have to make up almost 8.3 seconds to catch up to Jonathan Jennings. Shaving off a couple tenths here each lap is St. Cour and the rest of the field, as it looks like Jennings might actually be slowing down a little bit, seeing that he's got a comfortable 4.5 second lead over top of Christopher Simon. Christopher Simon is the only Toyota that actually inhabits the top 10 here tonight. Right now, Gary Armijo teetering just on the outside, sitting 11th, but he is about 22.2 seconds off pace. If he's not careful, he's looking at about 5 seconds, and he will be a lap down. Unfortunately, Clune ends up a lap down. Well, another lap down, as he has already ended up in some trouble. Remember, Clune did come down and pit on lap 6. All right, now the 11 machine having some trouble here tonight, and Phoenix is definitely a tough track for these guys to kind of combat and figure out how to come over and come over top of this. Yeah, right now trying to see if we can fight on through this. Yeah, right now Sean Thompson is saying almost a 5 second lead. That he is, and it is quite impressive. That Jonathan Jennings is able to pull away like this. But I would say most of the conversation through the league here is that Jonathan Jennings spends an enormous amount of time testing and tuning, trying multiple setups, whether built or purchased, and tuning them just right to where he can remain fast and get even faster. And you see Jennings now just putting guys behind him here. Nothing seems to be slowing this guy down. Is losing a little bit of time as he runs into some lap traffic. Simon able to get a couple tenths here and there. But we've got guys rubbing into the wall, and yet he still remains a solid driver here. We're not seeing him getting loose. He's taking it easy. And everything is A-okay. I would question, what kind of gear are we in? Are we still hanging out in fourth? That looks like it. The good thing about this is he likes using fourth gear to go ahead and spread out his lead, and he is able to have those higher RPMs where he set the gearing, so he's able to get a little more torque pulling through these turns and allowing his car to just rotate and do what it does best. And that is be out front, suck up all that fresh air, and definitely put down some solid times here tonight. So he comes up on lap number 50 to get that one started. Great race here so far. A quick recap for anybody now just joining us here at SimTrax Broadcasting with the Doghouse Racing League. We had a yellow flag on lap number 1. Andrew St. Court broke loose and ended up spinning around there. It was a little bit unfortunate. As Mark DeMont, he ended up getting spun out and hit as well. And then we had another caution, almost back-to-back on lap 5. As soon as these guys finish some of those caution laps, they go back under caution, where it looked like there was some contact out there between Hunter Simpson and Kevin Thompson. Hunter Simpson getting the worst of it there. Bill Gentry, Jeffrey Weimer, and Gary Clune were involved as well. Those guys spinning out and kind of getting hammered to pieces there just a bit. Christopher Simon now falling off to a 5-second gap all over Jennings. Off of Jennings. St. Cour has fought all the way up to third here as we see him passing a teammate of Gary Clune. Clune just trying to see if he can bounce back here tonight. Very, very difficult. But so far, so good. And I've got to admit, taking a look at some of the times out here, from what we're seeing, Jonathan Jennings is still pulling away here. 28.2 seconds. The closest person I see out here is right now is Nate Orlowski with a 28.42. And he sits all the way back there in 5th. So right now, Jonathan Jennings still, to this point, has yet to pit 52 laps into this one, and is still 0.2 faster than the remainder of the field. So not too bad here from Jonathan Jennings. He's trying to hang out front, looking to see if we can get some more camera time here for Christopher Simon. Simon trying to hang in right now for the Shoney's Racing team. Fortunately, taking a look at the Shoney's Racing team, I've got 3 of them here on the lead lap. Christopher Simon, who sits second. I've got Mike Leftwich, who sits seventh. Yeah, Christopher Simon, who's sitting second. Mike Leftwich, who's sitting seventh in the 60 Chevrolet. And Gary Armijo, who in the 7 Toyota, sitting ninth. So now Gary Armijo was able to fight back to the front and try to get his Toyota into the top 10, and has worked here so far. Well, the guys are waiting to when this leader is going to pit. Andrew St. Cour, remember, he did come down pit on lap 8, so he'll be able to hang out a little bit longer, as well as Kevin Thompson as he came down for fuel and some repair. He'll be able to get back out there and actually drag it out a little farther. Seeing how it's going here. Right now, you got to give it to Thompson with the amount of damage that he does have still remaining on this vehicle. If he's able to catch back up as we take a little drone footage here. You see that left front fender and the nose is smashed into this car. So aerodynamically, he is in really bad shape right now here. And hopefully they will be able to try pull out some of those dents. I guarantee you we will see that number 6 rejoin pit road if a caution does occur. And try to get some of that machine fixed up a little more, and so he can remain competitive. But he's only got one more place to catch Nate Orlowski. Right now, he's got to make up about another 6.5 seconds to catch him for a top 5 finish tonight. So a lap 5 caution. And he has been battling back ever since to try to come back from that dismal turnout there on lap 5. A lot of big names were involved. Thompson already, we named one of them, Simpson as well, but Bill Gentry, Weimer, and Gary Clune were tangled up in that one. So some of these guys are definitely weighing their options here, whether they should pit early or not. Already some of the guys who did, Daniel Wilkerson, he decided to come down pit on lap 49. Ricky Hudges as well, but I believe Hudges is taking it to the garage. Jeffrey Weimer has taken it to the garage, and Hunter Simpson remains out there. But if Simpson can turn, I believe, 5 to 6 more laps, he'll go from 18th up to the 16th spot. And still, that when you consider points-wise, that is exactly what he's going to need here to continue the kind of any sort of consistency or a bounce back. Gary Armijo for the Shoney's Racing Team working his way down pit road in the 10th position. He's sure he should be able to stay out there. Nope, now he gets bumped down to the 11th spot. Yeah, didn't know if Gary Armijo would be our telltale sign that somebody may be having to come down pit already. We're seeing Christopher Simon contact the wall. St. Cour on a tear here. Right now, St. Cour has been about 2 to 3 tenths faster over the past few laps. Only a tenth faster last lap over Christopher Simon now that he's caught Simon. Andrew St. Cour may be looking to lock him up here. We'll see if the battle for second may heat up as Rich Leclerc working his way down. Working his way down pit road for the first time here tonight. Once again, I would like to thank you guys for joining us for the MATCO Tools 135 here with the Simtrax broadcasting team. We are hosting the Doghouse Racing League here on this fine Thursday night. Definitely, we have got a full schedule for you guys. And if you're looking to join the Doghouse Racing League, they have a truck series. I believe that is hosted on Tuesdays. You can check them out over at Intensity Broadcasting. And then Thursday nights is the Cup Series. These are the elite guys really kicking it here, going at it. Homestead, Miami is the next place you'll find us. All out there on the 16th. Definitely some of these guys not too excited about Homestead. I would probably say the oval they're pretty happy with. Homestead used to be more of a rectangular track. With definitely the revamping, they've changed that up a little bit. And they have Talladega after Thanksgiving. That should be a wild race, especially here toward the end. I know it does take a little bit of talent to race at Talladega. Not much setup is required. Probably be the first time that we see Jonathan Jennings put it in the 5th gear. And then the second to last race will be Auto Club. That'll be a good race as well. Definitely a bumpy track there. Hopefully we'll see everybody maintain. We'll be running 100 laps there. And then for the season finale, we head to Texas. So that should be a fantastic upcoming schedule here of guys who are getting excited. So right now I'm getting pretty excited to see how far these guys are going. 65 laps. Jonathan Jennings, Christopher Simon, Nate Arlowski, Jonathan Smith, and Mike Leftwich are the only drivers who have yet to pit. As I say that, the number 99, who's acting as out there, Hunter Foley says, is acting as cool as Eric Church out there after some extracurricular activities. But right now, they will be contested here. They are keeping luck. Keeping a look and making sure nobody's cutting the track. You can take the inside line down pit road and shave off many, many seconds, but you do have to remain on the outside line when coming down pit. Jonathan Smith finally throwing in the towel. 4 tires and fuel for him. He'll be skating out of there with a 15:45 in his box. A little slow there. Definitely might have to sit there and see if he can ruffle the feathers of his pit crew to pick up the pace there a little bit. And now Sean Thompson saying good luck to Kevin and all the drivers. He's going to the Shoney's breakfast bar. How could you? Taking nobody else. Hey, man, don't forget the whole strawberry pie. Keeping this going here, looking to see if St. Cour, this is the battle for second. We've kind of begun keeping an eye on the rest of the field, but finally St. Cour may have an opening here to pass Christopher Simon for that second position. Right now, St. Cour is going to need a huge Hail Mary if he is able to catch Jonathan Jennings here in this race. If you consider how fast St. Cour has been, right now he is about 0.3 slower than Jonathan Jennings still to this point of the race. Right now, Jennings is making me put my foot in my mouth. I thought they may have to saw through all of their tires. Jennings still on the tires he started the race in. 70 laps into this race. This is absolutely mind-blowing. Right now, a couple of guys may have to take a few pages out of the book here and figure out what the world he's doing. I tried the old basketball trick, seeing if he can have enough fuel. There we go. Jennings coming down pit. I mean, Simon's working his way down now. Does Orlowski do it? Yes, he does. Orlowski coming on his way down pit road in the 29 Corn Hub Ford. See if we can keep it on going. Right now, St. Cour will now take the lead. He'll probably be able to stay out there maybe 2 or 3 laps, and I expect to see him come back down. Yep. He goes ahead and checks out, coming down pit road now. Man, he's fast. Whew. Gets in just underneath the speed limit, 45 being that limit. Kind of seesawing back and forth here. Michael out there saying he couldn't make it tonight. He's rooting on the Shoney's team. Okay, see if these guys can bounce back. See if they can get it going on. Where's Mike Samia? All right, taking a look. Kevin Thompson decides to stay out against the better judgment of the rest of his team. St. Cour trying to be fast in and out of pit road here. He's trying to hurry up. 4 tires and fuel. St. Cour's back out. St. Cour may not have to pit here for the remainder of the race. I don't think he's got a choice. Seeing that Jennings has only had to pit once here. Spread out a little bit. We'll see if fuel comes into play later on in the end. They've been able to stretch it out as far as they have because of the caution laps. Definitely being able to get about 7 or 8 caution laps in. So if we did take some of that time, subtract it off what we see up top when these guys did pit, 62 laps might be that mark. That's going to be pretty close to the number up top here. Hopefully they have enough fuel to make it to the end. So shuffling up our top 10 now. It looks like Kevin Thompson, Jonathan Jennings, Daniel Wilkerson, Andrew St. Cour, and Christopher Simon. 1 through 5. That moves us to John Smith, who sits 6th. Nate Orlowski will be 7th. Justin McMahon hanging out in 8th. Mike Leftwich will be 9th. And Armijo rounding out our top 10. Guys smushed up pretty good right here in this pile. Keeping an eye, Jonathan Jennings, that is him there toward the bottom. Looks like he's going to put another driver a lap down here. Right now he's trying to run down Mike Leftwich. Leftwich already down a lap. But Kevin Thompson is in pit. So he will be losing the lead here right now. As Jonathan Jennings slides on around and keeps on rolling. It shows for the time being that Mike Leftwich will regain his lap. And we're looking to see if St. Cour can make up any sort of time here. Right now, some of the 2 best drivers I've seen out here on some of these leagues, Jonathan Jennings and Andrew St. Cour, doing their work. And I'm about to find out if Andrew St. Cour has a little something for him. He is sawing off some time, though, with a 27.56. That's over 0.2 faster than Jennings. So we may see the battle heat up here for the lead, but not now. Andrew St. Cour, 27.46. That's 0.4 faster. So whatever's going on, Andrew St. Cour's got this thing dialed in. He's picking up the pace, but hopefully he doesn't burn up his tires before he gets to Jonathan Jennings. Christopher Simon now hammering down with a 13:52 through section 1. So right now, our top 3 guys are really rolling it now as they keep this on going. Right now, Mike Leftwich still staying out in front. As he gets around, looks like laps down. No, Justin McMahon. McMahon now to the outside. McMahon about to fall down to 9th if the 60 can get a hold of him here. Wait to see what they got going on. Looks like Mike Leftwich is watching this all happen behind him now. Caution. Gary Armijo will be our guy waved around. And Tony Martin looks like he may be the one spun out here. The number 2 machine not having a good time tonight. Third caution here of the night. Tony Martin, the offender of this one. Let's figure out what happens to Tony Martin. This is the caution replay. Let's take a look. Ooh, loops it. Yep, just gets off the racing surface a little bit here. That's enough to cause a caution. It looked like somebody may or was almost about to hit him there. So that's how the caution does come out. So drivers who are laps down, they're not going to be able to recover here. Armijo should be getting the wave around, but drivers back down pit. Jonathan Jennings, Andrew St. Cour. No kidding. Talk about shuffling it up again. Tires for both of these gentlemen. Let's see. Is it 2 or 4? Ooh. Gutsy call here by the number 12 Ford. All right, now Jennings working his way out of pit. Christopher Simon 7th. Daniel Wilkerson 8th. McMahon 9th. McMahon trying to get some more of that damage squared away as the tires are getting thrown on. Remember how McMahon ended up in some trouble early. Yeah, actually, I'm honestly surprised to see Kevin Thompson not coming down and getting some more of that damage fixed to the front nose of that machine. Pace car lights are still on. This would be a perfect time to go ahead and let's head to commercial here. A shout out from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. The Doghouse Cup Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is today's all-American kitchen that's open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Shoney's guests can count on quality, delicious food along with warm, friendly service. Stop by one of our West Virginia locations to try the freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar, and don't forget to take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Don't forget about Rogue Energy. It's designed to be the ultimate energy drink with 0 sugar, 0 fillers, 5 calories, packed with essential vitamins and loaded with brain-enhancing nootropics at optimal levels. Make the switch to a better tasting, better mixing, and more effective energy drink with flavors like pink lemonade, fruit punch, and grape popsicle. There's something for everyone. Guys, use Doghouse in the link below. Knock off 10% and get yourself the best energy drink today. Pace car lights are off. Appreciate you guys hanging around for a shout out from our sponsors. Sponsor here of the race being MATCO Tools. MATCO Tools is an American manufacturer of quality professional automotive equipment, tools, and toolboxes. They guarantee and service all the equipment they sell, and their network of independently franchised distributors bring you the tools you need to get the job done. When you're looking for quality you can rely on, look on to MATCO Tools. You can visit matcotools.com for more information if you're looking to become a distributor or a tool you might be missing. Right now, Jonathan Smith not missing that restart here as he gets back underway to get lap 83 right now in front of him. But right now, everybody is behind him except Kevin Thompson, who's right now taking a peek here on the outside as everybody, with most of everybody out here with fresh tires, trying to see if they can put a little bit more speed out there on the track. So right now, Hunter, if you're out there watching, Jonathan Smith holding on to the lead, but he's got St. Coeur right behind him. St. Coeur with a 2-tire pit stop here. Interesting call from the outside to see if this is going to pay off for him. Jonathan Jennings firing down toward the bottom to see if he can squeak past Kevin Thompson, and he does. Got half a car length on him here as he rotates through the following turn, and he'll set himself up right behind St. Coeur as we get through turn number 2. So already shuffling it up here. Jennings getting his fastest section 1 with a 13:52 here on the night. Smith, St. Coeur, Jennings sitting 1, 2, and 3. Looks like St. Coeur is going to make the attack now. Down to the bottom he goes. He's got the lead here for just a moment. The 99 machine hangs out up top. I bet he's going to wish he had come down and not ridden toward the top, but that's A-okay. Smith is going to be having to play chase with Andrew St. Coeur. St. Coeur matching the same speed that Jennings had with a 13:52 as he fires through the first section here of this track. Getting through the restart zone. Jonathan Smith out of shape as he's close to the wall. Kevin Thompson is going to be looking to strike as St. Coeur runs away with this one. So B-Mac, as you're out there watching right now, Andrew St. Coeur bouncing back from a lap 1 spin out, and some damage has now come back and taken over this race. He has now laid down the fastest time on the track with a 27:35. This is huge. St. Coeur has got this thing pedal to the metal right now. He's feeling the left side was pretty good, maybe a slight air pressure adjustment, and St. Coeur is now taking off. But is he able to get away from Jonathan Jennings? Half a second says yes, but really, can the rest of these following laps, will that be a no? We'll have to see. Let's rotate back where I want to see the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Simon is the guy in 5th. He's taking a peek now to John Smith. But remember, Smith pit back on lap 65. 4 tires and fuel for him. He decided not to come back down pit road, so it is going to be very difficult for Smith to bounce back on this one as everybody's tires are somewhere between 10 and 15 laps fresher. So far, so good. Smith loses the lead down to 5th now. Next person will be trying to take a bite of him here is Nate Orlowski in the number 29 machine. Mike Leftwich sitting behind him. Daniel Wilkerson will be 8th. Gary Armijo 9th, and Justin McMahon rounding out our top 10. Not too shabby here from Justin McMahon. Unfortunately, losing 4 positions here on the night. He originally started in the 3rd row on the outside as he now sits 10th. So this is going to be very, very difficult here for McMahon to catch back up. McMahon has actually been losing some time out there with a 28:02. I'm not sure if we're going to see that kind of bounce back. We are back under caution here. Looks like Rich Leclerc may have gotten turned around and gotten way loose. These guys just bring so much speed to the track. I definitely expect to see him try to come back to this one. Something may have gotten a little awry out there with his race car. Let's see if we can take a look to what happened to him here. See if he just looped it. We saw a little bit of this last night. 17 machine. Oh, contact. Clune wipes him out here. Yeah, I'm waiting to see what in the heck happened to Clune. Clune got an insane run here. And I kind of want to see what he saw and see if he even saw him coming. Oh, he just had a huge run. He just had a huge run here. Yeah, right now, here we go, taking another look at it. Drivers deciding to toss it up a little bit and try something a little different. Coming down pit road, Jonathan Smith. He's going to throw the tires on now. This might be a good call. I like the idea. He'll be coming down on lap 91. McMahon and Nicholas Atwood are down pit road as well. Of course, Richard Leclerc came down as he was blown to bits. St. Coeur has the lead, and I'm going to wonder if St. Coeur wishes he had taken 4 tires at the last stop. Well, that could be a make or break here of this race. Drivers who thought they may or may not make fuel mileage, this would be their opportunity to assure themselves, guarantee themselves that they would make a finish here at the end. 92 laps in the books as we pass the yellow cactus. Right now, yellow flag straight up and down in the air. That means we're getting ready to double stack next time by. Pace car lights are out, or excuse me, they're on. We still got one more lap to keep going here. Guys, light up that chat there a little bit. Talk to me here a little bit. This race is definitely not going the way we had thought with 4 cautions here at Phoenix. Normally as good and as fast as these guys race out here, very little mistakes are made. But we see Andrew St. Coeur getting the lead here. I'm interested to see. I would have definitely assumed to see him choosing inside line, which would line up Kevin Thompson directly behind him here. Thompson in the number 6. Looks like he's got a Mark Martin throwback scheme here. Still rocking it. Maybe used to seeing him in the 21, but he will now be the number 6. Testing his force feedback a little bit as he sits here in the front. Pace car lights are out. St. Coeur, Jennings, Thompson, Simon, Orlowski, Mike Leftwich. That moves us on back here where we see Daniel Wilkerson, Gary Armijo, Nicholas Atwood, and John Smith will be right in front of him. So Smith will be on the inside of that 19 machine. St. Coeur has got to have a good restart here because he's got to make sure he gets out in front. He had a half a second lead, and he's going to wish he could get it right on back as Jennings sits right next to him. Very, very close. Right now, Jennings isn't looking to play any games. Looks like Clune trying to hurry up and catch back up to the field here. Now getting ready to enter a restart zone. As they get locked and loaded. Here it comes. Andrew St. Coeur, Thompson. Look at that. Boom. What a start here from the Twisted Axle Racing team. I think the 6th machine may have been able to fold the back of Andrew St. Coeur's machine in. Already the 29 of Nate Orlowski is sliding here on the inside. Oh, man. That is close here with Jonathan Jennings. Very, very close. It looks like Jennings is trying to see if he can get a breakaway here, but the 29 machine says no. Oh, there's the contact. Good camera angle here as it looks like even this corn helmet is taken over. See, now we're going to fly through this here. Jennings definitely under fire. Jennings now off by almost 9/10 of a second as St. Coeur runs away. 95 laps complete in this race. And it is definitely going to be a good one here, especially when we get down to the end. Only 39 laps left to go in this race. Keep this one going. St. Coeur out in front over Jennings by a second, and now he's over Thompson by a second. As soon as Jennings can get a little fresh air here, he's going to start pouring on the coal. St. Coeur picking up the pace here between turn 1 and 2. 13:51 for that mark. St. Coeur is really starting to figure out, hey, man, I got to hold this thing to the floor before Jennings might consider catching up to me. This could be an awesome comeback here from Andrew St. Coeur. Right now, Jennings qualified on the pole. St. Coeur qualified second. Thompson qualified third. He remains third. Now Christopher Simon trying to take a peek. Seeing if he can get a little slice of it here right now. Thompson making a good block. Now allowing that 27 car to get in front of him. Car's bottoming out, going through the dog leg. You see the sparks shooting off the back of the cars here as they continue to keep this one on the road. Good racing here so far. Let's rotate back to Daniel Wilkerson as I think he just overcame Gary Armijo. Armijo now sits 8th. Jonathan Smith with the fresh tires out there. He came in on lap 90. Waiting to see if Smith is able to open it up here. Get a little closer. Jennings taking 2/10 off. As we rotate on through, let's get back up as the battle for third. Christopher Simon had it there for a blink of an eye, but Kevin Thompson with the outside turn speed. Consider that also Kevin Thompson with damage to the front nose of that car still hanging in for a possible top 5 here tonight. Right now he wants a podium position, but I don't know if he's going to be able to have it as Orlowski is looking to make a bid for the bottom as well. Kevin Thompson is about to be in some trouble. Jennings trying to shave off some time. No can do. 35 to go. Very, very good racing out here so far. Definitely you guys looking to join the Doghouse Racing League, you can go to the doghouseracingle.com. Find out all the points, where your favorite driver, how many times they have won. Might be able to get yourself some merch. Definitely would help support the league. Help support the broadcast as well. Speaking of supporting the broadcast, appreciate you guys coming out. And we have broken past the 400 subscriber mark with over 200 videos bringing it to you live. Tonight we are here for the MATCO Tools 135 of the Doghouse Racing League. It's a great race here so far. Do have a few cautions here tonight, especially one on lap 1. Another one on lap 5. Tony Martin spinning out on lap 77, and Rich Leclerc looping his car around on lap 80. Right now, Hunter Simpson remaining out there on the track after he got banged up, has achieved 15th position. Yeah, something's happened here. Gary Armijo down pit road. Not looking good. Jennings having trouble catching St. Cour here. St. Cour still out in front by 9/10 of a second. Jennings still trying to run him down. Christopher Simon was able to get away from Kevin Thompson and Nate Orlowski. Kevin Thompson trying to hold it in. But Mike Leftwich and Nicholas Atwood are coming up next. So far, so good as we take a ride along here with Nicholas Atwood. Atwood looks like he's trying to see if he can find a shot around here. Atwood under fire by John Smith. Let's see, we take a look from the back here. Right now, Nicholas Atwood looking back at John Smith and Daniel Wilkerson. Wilkerson trying to see if he can find an angle here as well. Wilkerson staying high toward the top of the track. You see the distance that Wilkerson was able to was actually lost there a little bit, as now John Smith runs up on the back end here of Nicholas Atwood. Atwood may have to come down and pit and make one more adjustment to see if he can figure out how to beat these guys out. See the cut on the dog leg. Atwood trying to make another shot at Mike Leftwich, but John Smith is going to say, all right, well, I'm going to take that shot. Outside line, Smith looking to work his magic on the outside. Both Atwood and John Smith both pit on lap 90. And they are definitely trying to put their tires to good use here. Go to battles out there on the track. Speaking of tires, Nicholas Atwood, here he comes. Wow, what a save. What a save. Nicholas Atwood off the table, loses control. Looks like he was getting ready to take out Daniel Wilkerson, but is able to fix it and straighten it up. Excellent job here by the 19 to keep it contained and keep his 19 Chevrolet on a roll here. Excellent job. Let's get back up to our leaders. Right now, it looks like something has happened to St. Cour. Jennings is picking up the pace. Jennings has shaved off some time here on that last lap. About a 10th, Jonathan Jennings is shaved off, and it looks like he's now starting to pick up the pace a little bit. Jennings might have a little something for him here. Jennings shaving off just a little more as he continues on through. Both lap times last lap were identical with a 27.93. Let's see if they can continue on through right now. St. Cour pretty comfortable here, almost out to a second lead. Jennings trying to close the gap. Get back to John Smith here. Smith trying to make another shot at it. Leftwich drops to 7th. Wilkerson now to 8th, looking to see if he can sling on by, and an untimely 5th caution here of the night. "24 laps to go in this one, and we are under caution." And I think this would probably be a tow. And they've called the caution for this tow. Wow. Now, this is not the first time that we've seen something like this happen where somebody tows and then it ends up throwing out a caution. But this is really going to throw a wrench into everything here. Everybody on the lead lap is coming down pit. Everybody on the top 11. Andrew St. Cour, Jonathan Jennings, Simon, Orlowski, Thompson, Smith, Atwood, McMahon, Daniel Wilkerson, Mike Leftwich, and Tony Martin. Let's check out the pit stop of our 2 leaders here. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. Andrew St. Cour being able to throw on all 4. He's got to get out of there quick, and he does. Man, that was close. Right now, Kevin Thompson spending a little extra time in there. Not much, 14.7. A couple of these other guys are spending more time than that. Justin McMahon remains down pit road 30 seconds. So McMahon is going to be falling way off pace. He's going to have to try to battle back from all this, but at least, fortunately, he may be able to fix some of that damage he's kind of accrued. 5 cautions on the night. Will be just about 20 laps left to go when we get back under green. Taking a look at our racers here tonight and how the top 5 come about. I'm looking to see out there in the chat if anybody's rooting on, who they're rooting on, and who you might think would win this race. Right now, St. Cour, as long as he can get out front to that fresh air, looks like he was able to fend off Jonathan Jennings. But we are getting ready to level the playing field here. St. Cour and Jonathan Jennings starting side by side on this one again. No help from Kevin Thompson behind him as Thompson gets out of pit road in 5th. That should be their final set of tires out there. Definitely the best time to use them. Only need about 2 to 3 laps for these tires to tack up, and then you're going to see these guys really take off here. This should be interesting. All the last adjustments have been made. Now, right now, for the strategy and the setup here, Andrew St. Cour looks to be having it. Jonathan Jennings, on the other hand, has led most of this race. Long trip for all these drivers to get back to the restart zone. Get ready to get this one back underway. Take a look here. See how Jennings gets this start as he comes off turn 3. Ooh. Yeah. A bit early there. No Simon to block him up, so Jennings might be able to attack here pretty quick. St. Cour down to the bottom, seeing if he can rotate on through. This is where he capitalizes, but not this time. Simon able to catch it. He's back on the gas. Jennings can't get around Simon here. Simon jamming him up. Right now, Christopher Simon would love to get a second-place finish here tonight. He's just got to stay out in front of the 91 or come away with a win. St. Cour's in front of him. Jennings trying to see if he can fight around him here. Half a second behind. More of these guys race side by side. That's going to do it, but Kevin Thompson's out of shape here. Holy cow. Kevin Thompson might have just gotten wiped out here. We're going to go back and see what in the world happened. See what happened here. Kevin Thompson. Oh, came off the race surface and it bucked him. Oh my gosh. A shot to the inside wall. Not good. So Kevin Thompson may be coming down pit road, and he may wipe his hands of this one. We'll see if he's able to return. Let's get back up to our guys who are racing for the lead. Jennings has overcome Christopher Simon. Andrew St. Cour now picking up the pace. 13:85 between section number 2. That is 0.2 faster than anybody else here on this track has been able to hit. Jennings has got to figure out how to drum up 0.6 of a second to meet Andrew St. Cour door to door. Only 17 laps left to go in this great race. Bit more cautions than we had expected. Yeah, we're hopefully going to check on 106 and see if that's going to cost anybody this race if they were getting on a good roll. Definitely not what you want to see is a guy having a tow out there on the inside or on the skirts of the racetrack. So that has caused a problem out here, bringing out our 5th caution of the night. St. Cour, Jennings, and Simon now sit 1, 2, and 3. Orlowski sitting in that 4th position, and Wilkerson with the consistency hanging out in 5th. Right now McMahon still fighting off a lot of that damage. 48 seconds is how long he spent in his pit box. McMahon has actually visited pit road 8 times tonight. Jennings starting to pick up the pace here a little bit. We are keeping an eye over there on the times. If Jennings is able to kick into high gear here and try to run it down. Let's check back on Nicholas Atwood, who's under fire by John Smith. Smith underneath of him here. See if they can get on through. Does Atwood clip him here? Atwood all over his rear bumper. Oh, and they make contact. There we go. There's another caution. Look out. There are going to be some words said on this one. Oh, man. So number 19 Chevrolet, the Dynaco machine, ends up as part of this caution. We just moved back to see how that was going. Let's see what happened to Atwood here. Atwood kind of pushed him. Oh, and Smith got loose and came back up. Oh. Mike Leftwich. Not bad here by Mike Leftwich, getting away from this one. Whew. So Atwood drops down to the 10th position. Kevin Thompson, he's still hanging out in pit for the last 3 minutes and 15 seconds. And St. Cour is kind of probably radioing up to everybody saying, guys, for God's sakes, stop the caution, so I've got this thing won, but man, it just gives Jonathan Jennings another chance. Simon was able to jam up Jennings there a little bit for a while as the two of them battled, and was allowing St. Cour to get away. But that is not going to be the case any longer, as our 6th caution of the night comes at the hands of John Smith and Nicholas Atwood. Smith now hits 9th. Atwood will be 10th, so these guys were side by side. They're going to remain side by side in this one. As we got a bunch of guys who are not going to come down pit. Clune down 3, Simpson down 13, and Dumont down 19. Gary Armijo, Ricky Hudges, Jeffrey Weimer, and have taken to the garage. Those 3 drivers. Looks like Bill Gentry still hanging out in pit road. Looks like he is not going to be quitting. Try to put that car back together. Richard Leclerc, he is sitting down there almost 22 minutes. And Kevin Thompson's above that 4.5 mark. Driver's still got a double file here before we get back underway. Definitely some interesting racing here tonight. I've got to admit, it's a little bit messy. I don't know what Atwood was trying to do. I knew he was trying to follow along. Some things had happened, but I don't know if Smith had broken loose enough that Atwood would get into him. We've seen a lot of guys trying to give each other room, but Atwood was not interested. So Barney in the flag booth thought he was going to be reading the funnies today, but he is not. Looks like he is very, very busy here tonight. As we get ready to get this one back under green. Definitely the racetrack out here in the desert. Definitely bringing some great racing here so far. Very, very dry. But we're going to see how this hangs out on the track. Let's check the state of that track. Still 72 degrees. iRacing is coming up with some modifications to the iRacing community and the tracks on the way they develop through the races. May be a possibility that as these guys have been doing more caution laps than anything, that it would end up changing the track condition and the way the track heats up. Let's get this one back under green as St. Cour gets a fantastic start here. He only gets about 2 car lengths out in front of Jonathan Jennings. And Jennings going to take this opportunity to almost follow behind him and hopefully not lose the draft. Already we got guys hammering each other here in the back. It looks like the number 5 of Hunter Simpson is getting caught up really in the same fiasco we were seeing before up there. Hunter Simpson getting out of the way. He's dropping down toward the bottom of the track. Let's see how Jennings keeps up with St. Cour with only 8 laps left to go. This is still looking pretty solid here. They've got some opportunities. Nicholas Atwood seeing if he can get around some of these lapped cars so he can fight his way back to the front and see if he can catch up to Mike Leftwich here. But Wilkerson and John Smith going at it. Smith on the inside of Wilkerson. Wilkerson trying to hold 6th position. He'd love to fight to get back in the top 5 here. Right now, I think John Smith has the more favorable line on the bottom. And right now, with 6 laps left to go as we pass the green cactus. St. Cour not able to squirt away this time. Jonathan Jennings hitting his fastest lap time of the night with a 27:31. That is slightly faster than St. Cour, and St. Cour's got a mirror full of him now. What happens next? Let's take a look. Andrew St. Cour trying to be nice and smooth through these turns. Gets good pull out of that turn and puts the distance on him. Able to get another 10th on Jonathan Jennings. Jennings dives in the turn a little deeper here. Definitely gets a good run. St. Cour checks it up a little bit and is able to pull away. Interesting idea from both of these guys. They got this thing kind of dialed in. 5 laps left to go. St. Cour still sitting out front, only 0.4 of a second out in front of Jennings. And right now, this is looking pretty good for the number 12 Ford. Jennings starting to get another good run. He gets under that 2/10 mark. Jennings starting to pick up the pace a little bit here. Boy, yeah, we're taking a look here. Out there, Hunter saying what was Atwood doing. It didn't, definitely didn't look good. No, not from this angle it didn't. I think he was worried about getting cut off, and then he ran into the back of him there. So Smith has unfortunately been turned around. Smith now sits 6th. Now he needs to make up a little bit of time here to McMahon. Right now he's got about 4/10 to make up to McMahon, and he may be able to get a top 5 here on the night. All right, now St. Cour, 2 laps left to go. Rotate back through the rest of the field here. Looks like Smith may be able to reach McMahon, but I don't think so. Bonomo, Atwood, Tony Martin sitting 11th. Most of these guys are either checked out or not having enough. Mark Dumont down to 15th. No can do, and Hunter Simpson sticking with it. 13th position. That's why you continue to race. White flag at the line here at the Matco Tools 135. Jonathan Jennings has got less than a mile and a half to catch up to him. Jennings taking an outside turn. St. Cour definitely able to jam Jennings up. Fantastic move here. Let's see how it goes. Andrew St. Cour trying to hold him off. He's only got a little bit more. Couple more turns as Jennings is going to full send it into this turn. Right now, St. Cour hangs on the inside, rotates up, and Jennings has got nothing for him. St. Cour, the winner here of the Matco Tools 135 here at Phoenix. Andrew St. Cour with a great win here on the night, able to bounce back from spinning out earlier in the race, fought off some damage, and still was able to recover. Right now it looks like he's going to have to get a manicure out there for BMAC, which says she has no nails left, as that was a close one. St. Cour definitely played his cards right in this one, as it came right down to the end. So that is 2 races here so far. In the past 2 weeks, it has been won by a Twisted Axle Racing team. Not too bad here from our guys. So far, so good. Not bad. Last time Andrew St. Cour won was the Adam Looney Foundation 180. He was able to come in and win that one. Fantastic driving out of those guys. Kevin Thompson came in, winning the Shoney's 180. And Andrew St. Cour getting a good shot here in victory lane. Not bad. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hold on just a moment. We'll try to run our guys down and have a conversation about how this race went. And right there at the end. All right, everybody, we have caught up with our third place finisher, Christopher Simon, your 27 Toyota, one of the 3 car manufacturers to come in a podium position here tonight. Talk to me a little bit about this race and how tough it was out there. especially with the amount of cautions and restarts you had to make.
Yeah, man. Like the first few laps was just a little bit chaotic. Like the first two cars were just like got taken out over there because I think someone brake checked over there, and I was able to get by them afterwards. And then another one came out afterwards, and the top two just able to get by them as well when they were entering turn one there.
Mm. Well, talk to me a little bit about, kind of your pit strategy here tonight. You only came down pit road really 3 times. I mean, was it just 4 tires and fuel all the way?
Yeah, I was mostly just that and following the leaders, whatever they're doing, because I was catching up with I was not catching up with Jennings, of course not, but I was just following what they're doing and all, like just copying what they're doing and having it see how it turns out.
All right, man. Well, you started in 8th here tonight. You slid up 5 positions for a third place finish. Talk to me kind of from the upcoming of the rest of this season, man, before we really head to the Thanksgiving break. How excited are you about the upcoming race here?
At Homestead,
Oh, yeah.
I'm a little excited for that one. Like I'll be having a new paint scheme for that one, and but I still need to practice on that track. It's not usually my best track. Homestead is more riding the outside a lot. You see the real life drivers doing that, so I'm gonna practice with that with my team, and it should be a fun race next. And then when we get to that.
Okay. Well, new paint scheme. Can you let us in on it a little bit? Is it a color change?
Nah, it's a new sponsor.
Okay, okay. Well, we'll definitely keep an eye out for you. Christopher Simon, shout out time, buddy.
I want to shout out to my family watching. They watch every week. I want to shout out to Shoney's Racing. I love racing with them. Show, I want to shout out to Shoney's for sponsoring this league. Shout out to you guys for the broadcast, and also shout out to Daniel and all the admins for this league. It's really fun racing with them.
All righty. Christopher Simon, congratulations on your third place finish. Good luck at Homestead.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, that is going to do it. That moves us to Jonathan Jennings. Jennings unable to come away with the win here tonight. Awesome job here he had, though. Man, he definitely put the works in on it. Just was unable to pull away. Now, definitely, I would say during the blocking and Andrew St. Cour being able to bounce back, this was still an excellent race, man. I gotta love what you see out here. This has really been something to see of these guys bouncing back, kind of tossing it back and forth. I think Jennings probably considered this was one. This was kind of in the bag. This was all him, but unable to kind of kick back and return. For the win. I hate to say it. I wouldn't say it was stripped from him. Andrew St. Cour just had one heck of an idea of how to go ahead and bounce back, make the right adjustment, and return back and make the win here. So that is going to move us now to our race winner here of Andrew St. Cour. Right now, Andrew St. Cour in the number 12. Right now, we are taking a look as BMAC was on a roll here. Definitely, you owe BMAC out here a manicure, it appears, as it looks like the nails have been chewed off.
That doesn't surprise me. He gets pretty excited, I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got pretty excited even from our angle here. Andrew St. Cour, let's start this race, and I know you don't. I know it might be a sore spot, but we're gonna dig into it anyway. Spin out on lap 1. What in the world happened here?
Yeah, it just got way too aggressive without getting any heat in those tires, and that's something you're doing on lap 3, lap 4, where you can start getting on throttle a little bit sooner off 2. Um, just cold tires, just being way too aggressive. She really should have just settled, fell in line behind Jonathan. He was going to get the run there anyway. But anyway, I feel terrible. I know there's a couple guys got caught up in it. I really tried to keep it to the left as much as I could. The car wanted to snap back to the right, and everything I could do to just try to keep it from getting into the field of traffic that I knew was going to be coming down the right side of the backstretch. And I just, at that point, just locked up the tires and hoped I wouldn't collect anybody. And I apologize for those who got into that, especially that early into the race. I know people put a lot of time and practice into this, and for these league races, and they look forward to them, just to have their night ruined by something silly like that. So, I do got to apologize for that.
Yeah, things do happen. I understand. I've been in that situation. Practice, 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 and then kind of get wiped out really early. But you were not the only one here with the Twisted Axle Racing team to get in a boatload of trouble here tonight. Kevin Thompson got mashed up out there with Hunter Simpson. Gary Clune got blasted to pieces. I mean, really. And I believe Nicholas Atwood right here toward the end with John Smith on lap 123. I mean, it seemed your whole team got collected in a little bit of something here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix is one of those tracks. It's when you get those long green flag runs, and things seem to be going well, and but when you get bunched up on those restarts going into turn one, people cutting the apron. You sometimes get 3-4 wide going through there, and it's you really got to have your head on a swivel to know where people are to your left and your right, and then on top of that, when are they going to break? When are you going to break? So it's really, really challenging. This is one of the most, well, such a unique track for that in itself. So ideally you never want to be mid-pack, especially on these restarts. You want to try to get out front. Hence why, qualifying front row was so important for myself. And I know Kev, I think, was second row, but anyway, it is what it is. I mean, it's the nature of the beast here at Phoenix. And then you get into some lap traffic as the run goes on, which for the most part, everybody's really good. They kind of move out of the way, and they don't do anything to create any problems. But just that's another dynamic that comes into play for sure.
Yeah, that it is, and definitely one way to see how this all worked out, Andrew, is just, man, how you were able to bounce back. I mean, we kind of had our eye on you a couple of times out there as you were flossing through some of the cautions out there. You were getting away. Your pit strategy kind of changed up a little bit as you visited pit road 5 times here tonight. But, man, on a more positive note, you came away with the win. Talk to me really about the last restart with Jonathan Jennings all over you. How nervous were you, and were you actually playing any defense out there?
No, not at all. I was really just trying to keep my eyes forward. I did probably break a little deeper into 1 and 2 than I normally would the last few laps, and because he was charging hard, and I knew if I just felt like if I lifted or braked where on my normal braking point, that he was going to get a run. He would have got to my outside, then got a really nice run off down the back stretch, and so I was definitely trying to protect that. It's such a tricky track to pass on. You got to be aggressive early to make your passes, or really late as people start to wear out their tires. It's really hard to pass especially without bumping into somebody or turning them. And Jonathan doesn't race like that. I have no worries that he would have never done that. And I respect him a lot for that. So, yeah, I mean, I was aware of where he was, but I was in in these situations, and I've learned, many times, you really just have to look forward and hit your marks. And when you start mirror driving, that's a lot of times where you'll mess up and give them an opportunity to make the pass. But if you look back at my pit strategies, and I got really, really, when we had the green flag stop, essentially we would have made it to the end. I think I had 4 seconds. I was behind Jonathan. I was kind of knocking that off a little bit, but I feel as though he was probably conserving, not pushing too hard, and knowing that if I did get to him, I'd have a really hard time getting by him. That's if I got to him. But then a caution came out, and I gambled and took 2 tires, and that track position really, I think, was what was the key for me to get out front and stay out front the rest of the night.
Yeah,
So
and between the 2 tire call, the front row starting position, you were able to have a pit stall so close to the exit line, so you don't have to check up a little bit. You were just able to ride it all the way to the end, sidestep the clutch, and shoot your way out and come away with a win. But we head to Homestead next week. Any advice for any guys out there looking to kind of run the pace that you and Jennings do?
Well, it's an abrasive track. You gotta figure out what line you're going to run, and I know what I'm going to run, and I'm going to be committed to it. but there will be drivers that run different lines, and it's if we get green flag runs, I feel good. If we get short runs, I'm not as well. You can only get so many short runs with the tires that we have. We only get 3 or 4 sets or whatever it is. So, I mean, if we get short runs, eventually people are going to run out of tires. So, typically in this league, and I'm in some other leagues, and this one here is awesome just from the perspective that we don't run a lot of caution laps. Normally, and there's always the exceptions, but I suspect next week we might get 1, maybe 2 at the most, but for the most part it's going to go green, and I'm looking forward to that. We're really excited about the win here tonight, especially after last week. Last week there was a iRacing glitch. I got in my pit box, it held me there for 25 seconds for whatever reason. I couldn't do anything about it, and that kind of messed my night up. But to come back tonight and have a strong finish, and a lot of practice went in this week. This is not a strength here for myself and the team, but we put a lot of time and effort in this week, Kevin and Nick and Gary, and really a shout out to those guys to help me out. That helped me out a lot and run laps, and shout out to yourself for putting this league or great broadcast, and the drivers, and Daniel for hosting the league, and of course BMAC for watching every week. So thanks a lot.
All right, Andrew St. Cour, appreciate you. And the shout-outs there, buddy. Congratulations on your win at the MATCO Tools 135.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, everybody. Your favorite Canadian out there coming away with the win here tonight at Phoenix. What an excellent job it was, and how he was able to come away with this entire thing. This was definitely a massive upswing here for the Twisted Axle Racing team and Andrew St. Cour. But that is going to do it for us. If you tune in next week for the Racing Revolution League on Wednesday, we'll be running the Vet to Track 180 at the iRacing Super Speedway in the Gen 4 cars. It's for a good cause. They're definitely looking to raise some money, guys. If you wouldn't mind, go over there. Chip in just a little bit. It definitely helps PTSD sufferers out there try to enjoy a little something in life. If you're looking to come back here for the Doghouse Racing League, of course, we will be at Homestead next week before we head off for Thanksgiving, so that should be a good one there. Andrew St. Cour with the win. I expect Jonathan Jennings to come on with a different kind of vengeance on that run that we saw here tonight, as it's going to be extremely tough. But from all of us here at Simtrack Broadcasting, appreciate you joining us here tonight. Be well, be safe, be kind, and I'll see all you guys next time.